Baba.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another interesting edition of Baba Ini Baba. My name is Baba Ini Baba, the master storyteller of Nigeria land. Today, I'm going to be telling you a very interesting story, the legend of Igbo landing. What if I told you that this story is not just a tale whispered in the wind, but one carved in the very stones of our ancestors' souls? A story of courage, defiance, and an unbreakable spirit that echoed through time. My dear friends, as a storyteller, my ears have heard many events. My eyes have seen many things that my lips cannot mutter. Yet, for your amusement and learning, I must tell you some. Now, if you must know, this is a story etched forever at Dunbar Creek, along the banks of the Savannah River in Savannah, Georgia, United States of America. Yes, it was where the waters whispered secrets older than memory itself. Many visit Georgia banks in Savannah today, not just for our beauty or people, but because of the river murmurings that carry the weight of history, and the spirits of those who fell lingers in the breeze. So, tonight, come closer, open your hearts and listen. Listen to the story of Igbo landing. A place where the spirits of man reunited with the water spirits in a dance of rebellion, as the souls of warriors refuse to bow or be broken. It began on a dawn thick with mist, a day when the sky itself seemed to mourn. The Atlantic's cold breath swept across the waters, carrying the echoes of ships and the lamentation of souls turned from their homeland. A homeland that once beamed with life, markets bustling with trade, farmland echoing with the sounds of yam festivals, the vibrant noise of daily life, and the warmth of kinship. How could such a land, rich with its history and hope, become a distant memory, a place no longer reachable? It was a day unlike any other, May of the year 1803. Yet, it will become the turning point of many lives. A day when brave Igbo men and women, full of strength and resilience, were seized, caught in the web of cruel destiny. These were people whose muscles rippled like the mighty Iroko trees, whose bones bore the strength of generations. They were selected not just for their stature, but for their indomitable spirit, tales that no mortal tongue could fully tell. The villagers in Igbo landing, what is known today as Eastern Nigeria, were going about their business as usual. Traders bustling in the market square, hunters hunting for game, farmers getting ready for the new yam festivals, wives cooking for their households, and children playing a wrestling game to build strength. Nobody suspected anything, as the neighboring enemies had been suppressed a long time ago, and there were no known offensive attacks nearby. However, lurking in the woods were some gray, blue, and green eyes. The slave traders, lurking behind the secret routes, ready to pounce. They had found a way to enter the village unannounced. They came with ships and large vessels. In a moment, the leaders blew a whistle, and the soldiers, white-skinned, armed with British-styled rifles, jumped out from their hiding places and ran forward, striking everyone that dared to oppose them. The men fought, of course, despite being caught unawares. Many were slaughtered like goats, and after a while, the men decided to stay calm and surrender. As the proverb goes, we live to fight another day. Several people escaped, But the white-skinned, blue-eyed slave traders had already captured several villagers. Strong young men who fought and survived. They were taken abroad, a small vessel named the Morovia. Chained and helpless, souls ripped from the land they loved and forced into a journey of torment across the treacherous Atlantic Ocean. The operation was so smooth and fast that in 3 hours they had sailed out of the environment, and if you were asleep, you would wake up to only the ruins of the wreckage left behind. Igbo landing reminds me of the twist of fate and how a man's story can change in the twinkle of an eye. In those days, when the trade masters moved from one community to another, buying choice slaves, one thing was constant in the search, which was the preference of the colonial masters. Words had gone out that the Igbo communities had stronger men, and this made many traders travel farther than usual in their search for strong and brave slaves. Now, the Igbos were famous for their strengths. During the colonial era, many slave traders believed that the purchase of one Igbo man was equivalent to acquiring 10 men from other tribes in Nigeria. Because of their resilience under pressure, from around 1900s to 1960, their primary occupation was rooted in land, farming yams, cassava, and palm oil. But colonialism shifted their purpose, turning them into laborers for export. Pawns in the game they had no part in designing. Their bodies, honed by wrestling and warfare, became symbols of strength. Yet, beneath that strength lay a well of unspoken pain. In those days in the Igbo community, there were no kings that functioned in similar royalty like in the Western sense. Instead, there were high chiefs and elders, leaders who hold the community's wisdom and authority. When the white men arrived with their religion and education, many Igbos resisted, holding on to their traditions and cultural practices. But as the weeks went by, a few people got enticed, convincingly won over the others. Yet, when the chains of slavery bound them, even the proudest had to bow, though their spirits refused to be entirely broken. With every community having their ears on ground about the fate of Africans that sailed at sea, the ears of many had grown weary of tales of captains snatching young men and women from the warmth of their homes, like thieves in the night, carting them away to toil on sugar plantations and distant farms without rest. Imagine the sun scorching their backs as they stood unresisting, their bodies laid bare as white men sorted them like baskets of ripe tomatoes. This is how I will stop on this episode of Baba Ini Baba. My name remains Baba Ini Baba, the master storyteller of Nigeria land. Join us on the next episode for another interesting edition. You can like, follow, and comment on our content. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Baba Ini Baba. Thank you. God bless you. And see you next time.